Since Repair Clinic encourages you to perform this repair safely, a warning icon will appear when you should use caution. To install the carburetor repair kit components on this Briggs Stratton engine, you will need a 5/16" nut driver, a T30 Torx bit, a 1/2" wrench, a hose clamp, a small flathead screwdriver, and both regular and needle nose pliers. Before you begin this procedure, make sure the engine has cooled. We also recommend there be little or no fuel in the tank. Use the 5/16" nut driver to unthread the 2 mounting screws, securing the air filter cover. Remove the cover and the air filter. Then unthread the screws securing the filter base. Pull the choke lever off so you can move the base out of the way. Use the hose clamp to prevent fuel from spilling out of the fuel line. Then use pliers to release the spring clamp so you can detach the fuel line from the carburetor. Using the T30 Torx bit, unthread the 2 mounting screws, securing the carburetor, spacer, and gaskets. Unhook the throttle linkage and spring to fully release the carburetor assembly. Use the 1/2" wrench to unthread the main jet, securing the carburetor bowl. Set the jet and bowl aside and remove the old bowl gasket. Next, use the needle nose pliers to pull out the hinge pin to release the float and needle. Detach the needle and retaining spring from the float. You're now ready to begin installing the carburetor repair kit components. Align the new needle retaining spring on the lowest groove of the new needle. Position the spring and needle on the float. Reposition the float as you align the needle in the needle seat. Insert the new hinge pin to secure the float. Now align the new bowl gasket. Replace the old sealing washer on the main jet with the new one. Reposition the bowl, then rethread the jet. Use the small flathead screwdriver to remove the old choke plate. Then pull the choke shaft out. Slide the old choke seal off and replace it with the new one. Reinsert the choke shaft. Position the shaft so you can insert the new matching choke plate through the slot in the shaft. The wider portion of the plate should be facing upward, with the numbers facing out when the choke is closed. Next, use the small flathead screwdriver to unthread the throttle plate mounting screw. Remove the plate. Pull out the throttle lever and remove the old seal from the shaft. Slide the new seal onto the throttle lever shaft, then reinsert the shaft into the carburetor. Reinsert the throttle plate and secure it with the screw. You can now reinstall the carburetor by attaching the throttle linkage and spring to the throttle lever. Align one of the new gaskets on the backside of the spacer and position the spacer and gasket on the cylinder head. Reinsert the two mounting screws through the carburetor and slide the second new gasket onto the screws. Position the carburetor and thread the screws into the cylinder head. Attach the fuel line to the carburetor, secure it with the spring clamp, then remove the hose clamp. To install the new air cleaner gasket, you may need to detach the air filter base from the breather tube. Peel the old gasket from the base and clean off any residue. Remove the backing from the provided gasket to expose the adhesive. Then align the gasket on the base and press firmly. Reattach the breather tube to the base. Insert the two mounting screws through the base. Then align the base and thread the screws into the carburetor. Replace the choke lever. With the pre-cleaner positioned in the cover, followed by the air filter with its rubber gasket facing outward, align the cover on the base and secure it with the screws. If necessary, refill the fuel tank, and the engine should be ready for use.